it might be really great to have a chat to you, Cristel, today because, as you know, I am really passionate about low-tox living. That's why I do Arbonne, holistic health and wellness, which is why I've got my coaching business. I love essential oils. I use essential oils. I don't know much about them. It's a guessing game, right? And it's something that I really want to know more about because I know they make me feel good. Don't really understand why. And I think sometimes I kind of just, I grow to my favorite one and that's all I really do. So I thought because you, and for anybody watching or watching the replay later, I'm going to introduce Cristel. Cristel is a friend of mine and she is a mum of two, a busy working mum of two, I should probably say. Three businesses?
Three, yeah. Or two
Three
businesses and my job.
Yeah, two businesses and your job, which is just amazing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Cristel loves to help mums support their own families' physical and emotional health by using low-tox natural products. So I thought she was a perfect person to have a chat to because if you check out Cristel's feed, you will see that her knowledge on using oils to lean on, I see you use the word a lot, lean on and support you through emotional tough times is something that I think, my audience definitely benefit from and I really want to know about more as well. So thank you for joining. Yeah, thanks for joining for a chat.
Firstly, thank you for having me. I'm so grateful that you thought of me. As you said, I'm passionate about this. My passion has grown over the last few years. I got into oils by accident. I was a very tired mum and I was desperate and ready to try anything. And now they've just become a part of everything we do every day, almost. It just has fitted so well into all of everything that we do. So, and I'm going through a slightly challenging time at the moment with my son who is looking at a potential ADHD diagnosis for him. But he is definitely one that we use some of, the other tools. So, and I guess that's the thing about the essential oils is they're not going to fix everything in an instant. They're an amazing thing to have as part of your toolbox to help support your health, physical and emotional health. And once you start, some people, like you said, some people, they don't start because they find it really quite overwhelming. They're like, oh, I don't know what to put in my diffuser, or I don't know what to do with this one and that one. And they can be quite intuitive at times. So they don't need to be daunting. You can just kind of pick one up and smell it.
Yeah. So you mentioned that being a tired mum sort of got you into your journey with oils, but I know that low-tox living is such a bigger picture than that. Can you tell me a little bit before we talk about oils about why low-tox is so important to you and your family?
Oh, look, definitely. As soon as I started looking into oil, so I got my first little kit and I got home and kind of went, oh, what can I do with these? And I was on school holidays. I'm a teacher. And I just kind of got into it all really quickly and I started to research. And as soon as I started to research, I was kind of like, oh my goodness, what are all these things that I have in my washing powder and in my cleaning cupboard that are potentially doing harm to me and my children? And especially being a mum, you've got these little babies that you need to really nurture and protect, I guess. And then the more I've learnt about it, I guess the biggest thing to me is those endocrine disruptors and the effect that it's having on fertility. So part of my other side of things is I'm actually working towards being a menstrual coach, and the link that we have now between chemicals and fragrances and all of those things that's having a long-term effect on people's fertility. Plus all of the other health issues, inflammation and all of that kind of stuff. I wanted to take those things away from, I guess, my children to give them the best opportunity that they can have in life. So as parents, that's, I guess, one of the things that we all try to do is our very best, right? To set them up for the best life that they can have. So from that first little kit that I got in that first week, within, a few days, I'd made my own hand soap, I'd made my own cleaners and my window sprays and pretty much everything. And I haven't looked back since.
Yeah, I love that. That speaks to me so much. I first started looking into low tox for me when I was going through a mental health journey, and also I had sort of physical issues as well, and medical issues, and mental health. I just medications didn't work for me. And what I found in my journey along a low tox more way of living was that removing those toxins and being conscious of where they were coming from, like you said, from your washing powder, from everything, being conscious of where they were coming from and absorbing into my skin and into my smell and everywhere. And that made a huge difference with my physical and mental health. It's amazing just how many, and you can't avoid the toxin, they're everywhere, they're all around us. But if you can begin to limit how many you allow into your life for yourself, for your children, for their well-being, and as you said, even for things like fertility and things, which I hadn't considered. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
incredible. And I think the statistic is that the average woman will put 512 different chemicals on their body every day.
it's just
And
frightening, isn't it?
not really even realizing it. So it's one of those things, once you know, you can't unknow. So
Yeah.
I've never been one to do the whole makeup thing and whatever, but I have replaced some of my makeup with some of your amazing products with Arbonne and those kind of things. So it's just taking those steps. And again, it doesn't have to happen overnight. It's a journey, right?
No.
So, it might be you make your own window cleaner 1 week, and then 2 months later, when your foundation runs out, you change your
Yeah.
lower tox. So, and yeah, again, that's, I think, what some people find is a little bit daunting, is that they think they have to do everything all at once, and that's not the case at all.
No, no. It's like building small habits, isn't it? One small little change and making. I think James Clear says it in his book Atomic Habits that that 1 degree shift. It doesn't sound like much to start with, but if you imagine it in terms of like an airplane, that 1 degree shift is going to take you to another country. So it's amazing just making those little changes. So tell me with oils. So how do they work? Like how, so I love the words. I lean on them. I rely on them. They support me. As I said, I use them. I know they make me feel good. But how, like, what are they doing to support my emotional healing journey?
Yeah. So the incredible thing about essential oils is, I guess, the aromatic compounds that they have, and they are so very small that they can actually get into our bodies on a cellular level. And with emotions, we get a lot of emotions through our limbic system. So we smell, we have a reaction, a memory, those kind of things. I was thinking about when I was thinking about what I was going to talk about tonight. I still remember one day I was walking through the supermarket and I walked past somebody and they smelt like a high school boyfriend, and I immediately got those butterflies in my stomach, and I was like feeling like I just met him again for the first time, and I was like, whoa, what happened there? So, and that's an automatic response. We don't think about that, it just happens for us.
Yeah.
And it happens so quickly with smell. It's one of our.
That's right, because the smell bypasses a lot of the rest of the processing in the brain and goes straight to that hippocampus and the amygdala as well. So the emotional response of your body and the memory triggers too. So
yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And it actually, it can get straight into, because of the small size of the particles, straight into that hypothalamus, which has the effect on your responses, right? So, we can, like you used in your blog post, frankincense, which is a beautiful oil, like for anchoring and all of those kind of things. And it's one of those oils that when I first smelt it, I was kind of like, oh, don't know about this. A lot of people smell it for the first time and they're taken straight into church because it's such a common smell. And then, so that's their memory, right? But then we can retrain our brain to be able to use that for a different feeling, a different memory, like you said in your post, depending on how we use those. And the other incredible thing about the oils is, they have different constituents in each oil. So one oil will be amazing for one thing, and one will be incredible for another. So citrus oils, for example,
it's
are
fascinating
incredible at uplifting. So they, you know, they help lift your mood, whereas the woody oils help you ground. So it really depends on what you're looking for, and when you can, like, when is a good time to use them throughout the day, or if you're working on a particular emotion that you're trying to shift, using that regularly, like you said in your blog post. So yeah, they're quite incredible.
So can I ask you, using them different times throughout the day, so I will just use mine, I have touch rollers everywhere, and I'll just use them like all day. I just smother myself in them. Is there better times that I should be using them, or is it just when I feel that I need it?
It's a little bit of both, right? So there's you know, when you're really in tune with yourself and your body, like you are, you know, you do lots of mindfulness and you're very good at tuning in, you can kind of pick out what it is that your body needs. Whereas, you know, when you're first getting into oils, sometimes it's good to kind of go to the oils that we know help us in particular times. So, for example, peppermint is like a awakening, like a fresh, it, you know, really opens everything up. So it's an amazing oil to use in the morning. You can still use it at night. It's not going to keep you awake, but it's one of those things that can get you going. So I have one of my clients has to drive to work quite a distance in the morning, and so they'll pop a drop of peppermint on their hands and a big sniff just before they get in the car. So that really helps them to be alert and go throughout the day. And then at night time, we're looking at kind of using the woods or resins. So vetiver and those kind of, although vetiver is a grass, but it's very calming on the nervous system. So again, it can help at any time during the day, depending on what you're doing, but you would lean more on those kind of oils in the evening to help start slowing the body down towards a restful sleep.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. I never thought of it like that. Like I got my go-to oils and my go-to blends, the touch rollers, and I just kind of smother them when I don't feel good. So yeah, I've never thought of it like that. I love that. So I guess that kind of leads, into the next question that I had for you, which is, what are some of the best ways that you can use them to support you around your home, on your body? I believe some of the doTERRA ones can be digested. Just on that, I can tell you a funny story. What you're saying about the smell, you walk past someone who reminded you of an old boyfriend. I love peppermint. I can't stand the smell of chopped peppermint. So when I was early pregnancy, I put some of the peppermint oil into my chocolate protein shake, and it came back up. And from then, I've never been able to actually stand the smell, because I remember smelling it thinking, oh, this is going to taste so good. And yeah, so it's funny how the memories can actually affect you like that. But yeah, I've lost my backlight. So yeah, what are some of the best ways that you can use them around your home?
So there's a few different ways depending on what you're doing. So diffusing is an amazing way to use oil. So I'll diffuse generally in my house. This time, during winter, I use, a protective blend, so On Guard quite often to help support on a physical basis. But when we're talking about emotions, I guess the two best ways to use the oils are aromatically and topically. So aromatically, you can do what I said before, a drop of oil in your hands and sniff it in. You can chuck it in the rest of your hair as well. That's really nice because you can get a whiff of it every so often.
Do you need a carrier oil if you're putting it on your skin, or is that okay just to?
Usually, yeah, it's good to pop in with a little bit of moisturizer or things. It depends on the oil. Lavender, frankincense are both really gentle oils, so they're the kind of oils that you can use. But if you're using an oil straight, so like one of these ones that doesn't have any fractionated coconut oil in, it's good. Otherwise, you can grab the touch rollers and they come already diluted and you can just rub those on your hands.
Okay.
Diffuser wise, for emotions, it's a really good idea to have it on an intermittent setting, so that it gives the brain a chance to kind of turn off from it and then respond again. Which is yeah, so if that's your purpose, is to help with your emotional well-being for the day,
Yeah.
you know, you might be having a rough day or the kids are a little bit wild, definitely have it on the intermittent setting, just so it comes on and off and on and off, and it just helps that brain reset each time.
I will change that. I just have mine going the whole time. So that's good.
And the
that's
other,
good to know. I'm learning so much. I love this. I'm learning so much. What about if just I guess in the way of using them, I've always wanted to know if I wanted to have like a essential oil bath. Can I do that? And how many
absolutely.
drops would I put in there? What's a safe amount to submerge yourself in?
So usually with adults, we're talking about 5 drops per 10 mils of carrier oil. So I will always I won't just put the drops in the bath. I will make up a little, either with Epsom salts or magnesium. And then I put some of my carrier oil in, and then I'll drop the oil into that just so that it disperses throughout the bath. And then, about 5 drops is all that you need.
Okay. Amazing. I love that you told me that. I could imagine myself just going, okay, oh, it doesn't smell strong enough. I'll just add some more.
And you know what, like a beautiful bath is, at the end of the day, if you've had a rough day, is one of the most amazing ways to just settle yourself in. And you can use, you know, like a lavender piece or something, which is our restful blend that just really helps you calm and settle in for that evening.
Okay, so, I have the lavender piece. You know, I really want to go and try it. There's a spider living in the handles of my bathtub, so I actually I'm reluctant to go in and turn it on. But
I've just got a little visitor here.
Hello.
You want to say hi?
Hi. You're going to join Mummy on the internet. My 5-year-old would be jealous. She asked me the other day if she could have her own YouTube channel.
Yeah, I've got Edie's definitely on that track. She wants one with her friend to do their dances, so we'll have to work on a safe way to make that happen.
She should get together with Kalia. They make a good pair.
Definitely.
Well, actually, do you know what? That actually leads me perfectly into the next question that I had that I wanted to ask you. Supporting kids. So I follow your feed and I follow your journey, and you mentioned that, you know, you're going through something at the moment. And I notice on your feed a lot that you refer to using the oils to support him emotionally. Tell me about what's safe for kids and how you use them to support your kids.
So we use them in the bath in the evening to help settle down. So I do the same thing for them, but I only put 2 to 3 drops instead of 5 drops. But my kids are school age. If you have younger children, it would be 1 to 2 drops. The doTERRA oils in particular are very potent, so you do not need a lot. Lots of people go, oh, how much? Oh, I can't really, like you said, can't really smell it. I'll just give it another go. But you just really, you know, start very small, and you know, you can build your way up if you're not getting the scent that you need. The other things that I love that we have are, actually, we have a kids kit, which comes with different oils, and they're amazing. They are, again, diluted already for those school age kids. This one is Brave. So my daughter uses this a lot. She gets a bit anxious about new situations or going back to school after holidays. She kind of is a bit worried. She hasn't seen her friends and those kind of things. So she'll actually take that in her school bag with her and use it if she needs it. Another one that we have.
And does she just use it? Is it just on her wrist, or do you put it on the base of the feet? Where does it matter where on the body you're putting them?
So for emotional support, usually I get them to put it on their wrists and then use friction to get that aromatic response. And that's going to get into the system really quickly. And then having it on their skin, it will take a little bit longer to get in through the skin that way. So the friction is really, really good to help really release that big sniff, and then a few deep breaths and a shake if they need it. Because we all know that movement's great for, you know, shifting those emotions. And then so that's really good for their physical benefits. I'll use them. So the stronger blend that we have for kids, I put that on the soles of their feet every night. And they'll often go to them themselves. Edie just got a beautiful new handbag for her birthday. She turned 8 just a couple of weeks ago, and she's already set it up, so she's got her 3 favorite oils in her bag.
Isn't that beautiful?
So,
I love that.
and it's a really nice way, especially, I don't know about your kids, but if they go to a birthday party and eat lots of food that they don't usually eat, there's a beautiful tummy oil too. So, you know, it gets to the night time and they're like, oh, my tummy doesn't feel good. Few rolls of Tamer on their tummy, and, you know, they stop complaining within a few minutes. It's magic.
That's Kalia. She doesn't know. She loves chocolate, anything sweet, and there's no off button when we're out somewhere like that. So okay, that's really interesting. Because I know mine, she's nearly 6, and I know she's been suffering with some anxiety type symptoms, even just before the lockdown, but now especially. So it's good to know that I can look into essential oils to help support her emotionally, as well as all the other beautiful things that she's doing as well. So, and it's a way, I mean, I assume, you know, that they can then go, okay, well, I'm not feeling good, and sort of learn to use it as a self-soothing technique as well.
Definitely, and building their emotional intelligence too. So be able to name their emotion and really, you know, I'm feeling this way. What is it that I can do to support myself? And, you know, sometimes with Hudson, it's going and punching his pillow. Sometimes with Hudson, it's going and grabbing an oil and sniffing it. Sometimes it's going and jumping on the trampoline. Sometimes it's swinging in the hammock. So again, it's a toolbox that you're gifting them, I guess, as they grow into beautiful human beings.
Yeah. As far as we go, so let's say, I'd like to say hypothetically, but it's not true. Let's just say that right now I was feeling quite stressed and anxious, but maybe stressed in particular. What would be a good oil to support that? And what would be, so maybe like a bath, or what sort of, is there anything else that you would suggest to really focus on somebody who wanted to let go of stress right now?
Yeah, so my go-to oil at the moment is Adaptive. So it has been specifically formulated, to actually help those stressful feelings. It's got some amazing oils in it. It smells delicious. Orange, lavender, copaiba, spearmint, which is
it does smell really
and
good.
Magnolia are my favorite. So I take Magnolia to the supermarket in a touch roller as well, because I get a little bit overwhelmed with the masks and the whatever at the moment. So
there's a big sensory overload at a supermarket. It's a really common thing I see as an EFT practitioner. People say, I don't know what it is. I just feel so panicked and overwhelmed at the supermarket. And between the echoes and the lights, the way that they make your peripheral vision move, and then add the mask onto it for somebody who's quite anxious, it's a very common thing.
I really struggle with that. So I have the oil. I use this in my bath. I also have a touch roller in my car. So before I go to the shop, I do that. I put it on, give it a sniff, give myself a minute or so, and then put my mask on, and in I go. That oil in particular is incredible. And it's so helpful, and added to your practice that you were talking about, linking it with meditation would be really powerful at this time.
Okay. Yeah, so adding it to the meditation practice. If you're not sure what that is, I have a blog post just on my website that is a bit of a calming hack to train your brain to associate a certain smell with being calm. And so that uses essential oils of your choice and meditation. So that's what Cristel was just referring to there. I have the Adaptive. I don't think I use it enough. So I'm gonna get more into that. I love the smell of it. Actually had it in my diffuser earlier today. So it's good to know that would actually help me specifically to support my stress release. I feel stress very physically in my body. It's one of the things that led me to tapping. So anything I can do to help support that is amazing. So I guess the only other thing I really wanted to ask you, and because I'm sure when you got doTERRA, you had, explored other options of things as well. I guess in your opinion, why, like I've done research, that's my preferred oil as well, but I guess in your opinion, why doTERRA is the better oil if people wanted to be using something to support themselves right now?
Yeah,
or maybe better is not the right word, but why is it your preferred oil?
Yeah, look, as I said, I came upon it by accident. And when I had a friend that had kind of had a chat to me about oils a couple of weeks before, and I went to a little workshop for the kids to make up some rollers for themselves. And I kind of went, I'm just going to go so that I can, hang out with my friend, because we hadn't caught up for ages. But she'd kind of told me, and so I went to the pharmacy and I, sniffed a couple of oils, and I was like, oh, I don't know about this. And I'm very sensitive to scent. I'd never wear perfume. If I walk through the, at Myer or whatever, the perfume section, it makes me feel actually physically ill. I get headaches. And I've always been really against lavender, that really synthetic lavender smell that is often around in many things. So again, like I said, I was a real skeptic, and when I opened my bottle and I smelt lavender, I was like, oh, this is what lavender is supposed to smell like. It was actually incredible, the difference.
Yeah.
And then when I did some research about the company before I actually, got my whole lot, the other thing I love about doTERRA is, their humanitarian stuff. So they work a lot with, they have a charity called Days with Girls, who help people in developing countries, women, girls, get reusable period products. Again, something I'm really passionate about.
Absolutely.
And their sourcing is incredible. They're there to support the farmers and really empower people on the ground level. So that's a big thing for me too. Not only the quality, they're the most tested oil in the world that I know of that we can get access to, and they're really working on that sustainability. Some of their oils are used as an oil that they get from New Zealand, that Douglas fir, which is actually, it's a pest. The tree is a pest. So they help deforest that tree to support the regrowing of the natural trees, or the indigenous trees to that area, and then use those trees to get the oil out. So they're really invested in sustainability and, making a difference in the world, not only us.
So they really align to all of your values, all of your core values as well. Yeah. That's amazing. Do you know what? I have learned so much from this conversation. I am so glad that we had this chat. If you've only just jumped on, then we're just wrapping up, and I'm going to put a replay of it on my feed, and hopefully be able to get it over to Cristel's as well. But Cristel has just poured so much love and information about ways that essential oils can be used to support all sorts of emotions that we might be going through, how to use them around our house, how to use them on your body in a bath, how to use them with your kids as well. So it's really going to be worthwhile jumping back on, if you've just jumped on, when the replay is up, and having a listen, because it's been really, really informative. Just finally, I thought I would ask you, if somebody wanted to come and personalize their own emotional support toolkit for what they are actually going through, as I'm sure if you've seen the catalog, or it's quite overwhelming to see how many different oils there are, how could they do that with you?
Definitely. So I'm always here for a chat. I love a good chat. So you can find me through my Facebook page or my Instagram page, which we're on now. If you are ready to go, I have a link in my link tree there that you can just jump on. There's a few sets that you can get that are really amazing. So if this is something that sounds great to you, we actually have an emotional wellness set that has 5 oils, including the Adaptive Plus a diffuser, which is amazing. But if there's some emotions that you are particularly looking at moving, we can definitely set you up with a personalised plan. Just send me a message and we can set up a call and get that sorted for you. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really have enjoyed this. I was so nervous.
It was really fun, wasn't it?
And it's gone so lovely.
And no nasty, creepy people this time. So I really enjoyed it. I think we should definitely do this again very soon.
Absolutely. Would love it.
All right. You have a lovely evening. Hi.
Good night.
Good night. Have a really good night, and we will chat very soon. Thank you, and thanks to everybody who has jumped on, jump in the comments and let Cristel know what you got out of this conversation. So it'd be really, really great to hear. All right. See ya.